All right, and welcome to our next debate. We have Abby and Mikaela. They're going to talk about education, and I'll let them introduce a little bit about who they're representing.
I'm Abby, and I'm representing Gary Johnson.
I'm Mikaela Warren, and I'm representing Barack Obama from the Democratic Party.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get started. Abby, could you talk to us about Johnson, about what he represents in the field of education?
All right, the question is who has a better education? And Barack Obama and Gary Johnson have two completely different views on education. Obama believes that the performance shouldn't depend on how much funding the school gets. And Gary Johnson, on the other hand, believes that the schools shouldn't get funding if they have a low performance rate. My first argument is education in school, no matter what subject, should be determined by state and local levels. For every 300,000 students in grades K through 12 get a $3,500 voucher to attend whatever school their parents decide to send them to. We should treat K through 12 education as a higher education for more tuition funds. The Department of Education grants 11 cents to each state. States accept federal funding and lose $5 for every dollar. It takes millions of dollars out of the classroom each year. Schools should have the ability to decide how the education dollars are spent. Putting funds in the hands of people who use them gives parents and students opportunity to vote which schools is the best and which needs improved.
Okay, great. Thank you. Mikaela, your opening remarks?
Within the topic of sexual education, the class is taught based on abstinence only, and they neglect ways to prevent sexually transmitted diseases, pregnancy, and they don't have discussions about sexuality in regards to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. Recently, there was a $5 million grant given to abstinence-only programs, and Obama has opposed to that, and he has been fighting since he's gotten into office to get rid of that, and he's continuing to fight to get rid of the bill for funding towards abstinence-only programs. And on the topic of federal funds, he has created the Race to the Top initiative, which gets states to raise standards for their students and hold teachers more accountable of their students' performances. He also opposes school vouchers. Public schools receive a Title I funding as well as private schools, but private schools also receive IDEA services. And federal government shouldn't stop funding schools just because they don't have high performance standards. Taking away their funding doesn't give schools the opportunity to improve their education for students.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Abby, now you can either refute or you can go into your second point.
Obama states that education grants 11 cents to each state, but in reality, it's taking 5 cents out of every educational dollar spent on educational purposes. If the performance rate is low at school, they do not have the right to get federal funding. They'll take advantage of school and not participate in the schooling. Sexual transmitted diseases, pregnancy prevention, and homosexuality should not be taught in school only because some parents don't want their children involved in sexual activity until they're 18 years old.
Okay, great. Thank you. Mikaela, would you like to rebuttal?
Yes. Okay. Giving schools the choice as to what they would like to spend their funding on could lead to the money going towards sports, academic clubs, or after-school activities and electronics, which distract students from their learning. And parents already have a say in what school they would like their child to attend, so they should not have a say in how the money should be spent within the school. And letting the schools or the local community choose what is talked about in each subject changes the education system. It doesn't give every student equal education.
Okay, wonderful. You may bring up another point or rebut.
I think you should vote for Gary Johnson because he's a great leader for our country. He's a dependable man. He can improve our country in many ways, and he's trying to stop all the downfalls.
Okay, Mikaela, your concluding statement?
You should vote for Obama for his second term. He already has the experience as to what problems are going on in the country and has begun creating plans to improve them and change the conflicts that are going on.
Okay, and that concludes our debate for today. Thank you, ladies.